Yeah, earlier start time. Earlier start time. Welcome. A Christmas Carol and, boy, I'm going to butcher your name. Adele, I hope. Let's see. Anyways, Tiffany White was here earlier. Welcome if you're still here. A Fish Kid, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Monday night live stream, Monday evening, almost early afternoon stream. Let's see. All right, we got to give a couple minutes for notifications to come out. Go out, I should say. Nima has subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Get some nice close-ups of some corridors here. People aren't used to the earlier start time. It's going to take a minute. Also, I need to put this on live chat. That would probably help. Cactus Woman, Tyler, hello, BM3 Aquatics. Look at all these chats I see now. What? So early? Yes, we are early. Deb Hall, hello. Yeah. So, earlier start time. I think I'm going to do it. I like it. I think it'll be better not streaming till 10 p.m. I'm thinking about changing it from 5 to 7 to 4 to 6. Going forward. Is Corey in Peru? Negative. Early, late, I don't even know what time it is. News to me. Yeah, you know what? I was just, about a half hour ago, I was like, I should just go live at 4. But then I had to feed my dogs, and I was like, just do it at 4:30. So, Zach, first live chat you've been able to catch. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to hit the like button. That goes to everyone. The more likes we get, the more notifications get sent out. Bobby from MI, what's up, buddy? Blue Water Jim says, I would totally keep angels if they came in that color. What they do, that is a legit photo. No Photoshop on that photo. Fish Tank Barn, what's up, buddy? Early, nice. Yep. Not early going forward though. Cactus Woman says, I've been here, heart, love you, exclamation point. Thank you. 7:30 where you're at. See, that's why I think we need to do the earlier start time. I've been thinking about just doing 2 1-hour streams, like 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, but I think I'm going to leave it 2 hours and just start at 4 and see how it goes. What's my dream reptile? Probably green tree monitors are up there. Any Europlatus, which is any leaf-tailed gecko, is up there. I think those are like the 2. I've kept leaf tails, different species. I've had some breed, and I've never kept green tree monitors, so that is definitely on the bucket list. They are getting so expensive, though. What fish can you put in a 1-gallon tank? Alien, I wouldn't put any fish in a 1-gallon tank. I would think maybe go with like shrimp, but 1 gallon is really, really small. Really small. Lisa is here. Lisa at KG Tropicals. Don't forget to wish her a happy 50th birthday, as always. I was gone for about a month. Did the polar bear swimming thing happen yet? No. I am going to be going to Portland in October. So I'm going to see if I can make something happen in October. Both good choices, yes. I'm also really liking the prehensile-tailed skink. I wouldn't mind one of those. They have been coming down in price, which is pretty rare for reptiles. Zach wants a blue iguana. That's a lifelong commitment, my friend. It needs a lot of room. Blue Water Jim says, I love my black throat. He is so tame, almost like a grumpy old hound. Yeah, black throat monitors, white throat monitors. If you got the space and the time, very, very good pets. Very good pets. And the money. Very expensive to feed a 6 foot, 500-pound lizard. I'm just kidding. They're not 500 pounds, but they are big. They are like 6 feet, and they are fat. Basically, like me, if I was a reptile, I would be a black throat monitor. Not quite Komodo size, but they're still pretty ginormous. Oh, hey, buddy. Don't knock over my drink, please. Hey, Bob. I'm looking at adding some corridors to my tiger barb tank, and was wondering if smaller varieties like Julii. Oh, yeah. I don't think you'd have a problem. Tiger barbs, as long as you have enough of them, they're usually pretty decent in community tanks. And also, corridors are armored catfish, so they're not going to be able to cause a lot of damage anyways. The only reptile I would own is not legal in my state, so that's that. Well, please share. Please share. Big fly, giant crested geckos. I believe those are called Rhacodactylus leachianus. If you want a giant crested gecko, you got to get yourself a leachy. They are about the size of my forearm, and they are the biggest gecko in the world. Velociraptor or bust. Well, the Komodo dragon, I think, is about the closest thing we're going to get to a velociraptor currently. There's still some pretty crazy claims being made deep in the jungles of Africa. There's some pretty crazy. I was reading about this. There's some like tribes say that they still see like pterodactyls flying around, which is pretty crazy. Whether it's true, who knows? Very few people have been that far into the jungle, so probably not, but still pretty fun to think about. Pounds and pounds of raw chicken, pork, vitamins, specialized vet bill. It's more expensive than a child sometimes. Yep, big reptiles cost a lot of money. There's not really any big herbivores. Well, I guess iguanas, but yeah. Lovely Oscars behind you? Yeah, I would say so. They're jerks, but they still... I mean, the albino one is obviously really ugly. But that orange fish right there, that orange Oscar, looks really good. That's a really good looking fish. Even I have to admit that. Komodo dragons are bigger than velociraptors. I would say behavior wise, like Komodo dragons can taste blood like 9 miles away. Not smell it. They can taste it in the air from like 9 miles away. That is pretty insane. You could call it smelling, but they call it taste. Funny, I just watched the Jurassic Park complete series. Oof, that's rough. That's rough. You're really committed if you're watching like the third one. Man, even the second one is like, I don't know about that. But yeah, the first one where it's at. I would sit down and watch the first one. If anyone wanted to watch it, I'd be like, yeah, let's watch the first one. It's so good. It does look like a 70s couch. That is a very accurate description of an albino Oscar. I want a velociraptor the size of a chicken. What would be a comparable, maybe like a New Guinea fowl? If you know what those are, those guys are insane. Super hyper aggressive African chickens, basically, except they're guinea fowl. What's minimum gallons for a betta tank? I'm seeing different numbers on Google. Well, there's always going to be like this fight, this argument, this debate. Me personally, I would never keep a betta in anything under a 10-gallon long term. Like if you're breeding, that's totally different. It's like completely different scenario. But long-term care, I would never keep one in under a 10-gallon tank. People keep them in 1 gallon, 3 gallon, 5 gallons, and they live. They're alive. Whether they're happy or not, I would debate that. But yeah, honestly, it shouldn't be like, what's the smallest size tank I can have for a betta fish, it should be what is the largest size tank I can fit where I want to put my betta fish. Like if I can fit a 10-gallon tank on the dresser, then I should do the 10-gallon tank. Or if I can do like a 5-gallon on my bookshelf, yeah, I could do a 1-gallon. But if a 5-gallon would fit, then that's what I would do. That's how you should look at it, not the minimum. Do I know anything about polycats? Nothing ringing a bell right off the bat. Oops, I forgot to turn my sound off. Hope you guys didn't hear that. I will mute that. Curtis Schindler with the $1 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Eric Wyrock says, hi, everyone. Early stream. Sweet. Yes. Going forward, I think next week I'm going to start at 4 and do 4 to 6 for a while. 5 to 7, I feel like gets a little bit late for East Coasters. And also at like 7 o'clock, it's not really enough time to do anything after that. It's just like, well, it's so close to bedtime. I might as well just go to bed. And then I'm like, ugh, I'm like 80 years old going to bed at 7, 7:30. At least if I get off at 6, you know, I have time to run to the store if I need to, maybe finish some chores. But I don't know. We'll see. If it doesn't work, then I'll go back to 5 to 7. I have to agree, my betta always seems happy in their own 10. And the other thing about it is a 10-gallon tank is way more fun to aquascape. You can have there's just way more stuff for like to keep a betta fish's interest. Like think about a betta fish is not really a small fish when we're talking about community, like smaller community. You know, they're like 3 inches, 3.5 inches. Being confined in like 1 gallon just for your whole life, that seems miserable. Like if I had to live in this room in basically a jail cell the rest of my life, that's not any fun. Oh, the Synodontis. I was going a completely different way with that. I know a little bit. I've never kept one. I've kept probably like 5 or 6 different species of Synodontis, but never that one. Do you think that crypt pink flamingo can grow floating like crypt wendetii? I think it'll grow for a very long time. Eventually, it'll just send, this happens to me with crypts. I don't know if it's happened to you, but if I float my crypts for a long enough time, like the roots just keep going down and down, and they keep searching for substrate. And it looks kind of weird, but yeah, I think that they will float for a really, really, really long time. Not something I would do as a floating plant personally, but guineas are great alarms. Always let you know when people are here. Yes, and they will fight off dogs and hawks and eagles. Yeah, they're pretty much like not allowed in a lot of areas because they are so loud. Like you can't have one in my city because they're super loud all the time. Chad says, Bob, I followed you for over 5 years. That is insane, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you're not telling me that because now you're like, I followed you for 5 years and now I'm out. See you later. You suck. Nothing like a really cold drink of water on a really warm day. Xanadudu, what's up, says, my betta loves being in a 40 breeder with Corys and Pseudomagil rainbows. Yeah, they can be very social. They can also be jerks, but they can also be very social. Anyways, Anthony, if you had a question about those Synodontis, I'm sure someone in chat might be able to answer for you. I might even be able to, but like I said, I've never kept them before. I'm coming in late, so I'm not sure what the topic is, but I do have a question. There is no topic, just general Q&A. I like powder blue. How many powder blue saltfish can I put in a tank together? Not all one kind. I have no idea what a powder blue saltwater fish is. Maybe if Mike is still here, he can answer. I'm definitely not a saltwater person at all. I've kept one small saltwater tank in my life, and it consisted of some crabs, some shrimp, some pulsing xenia, and that's about it. It was just a really awesome saltwater tank, let me tell you. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'll just call you Hernandez The $5 super chat says, extremely out of the loop, but is the online store going to get restocked or still running? Been wanting to order for a bit. Thanks, Big Steen. So the website I'm going to open back up here probably in August. However, all fish orders I will be sending to Dan over at Dan's Fish. And I'll be working with him instead of me selling and shipping directly. And you know what? I should probably be more prepared for this, but I'm not. And let's see. Of course. Why you gotta log me out? Definitely not prepared. Alright, that's not gonna work. I don't know why it logged me out. That's really annoying. I don't know about you guys, but I have password savers, so I don't have to remember my passwords. And then when it logs me out, like, I get so frustrated. I'm like, I don't know the password. It's supposed to be like saved. I'm not supposed to log out. It's so annoying. How long have you been going? I started at 4:30, only 16 minutes. Next week I'm going to start at 4, and going forward I'm going to go from 4 to 6 instead of 5 to 7. I still might go to 7. I just started early. I don't know if I'm going to end early. We'll have to see how it's going. So yeah, thank you for the $5 super chat. But yeah, I'll be sending people over to Dan's Fish because I believe that, one, he has the best rainbow fish and the best variety you can find right now, which is honestly like the main reason. Plus, he is by far the best shipper of fish right now as well. So, in my opinion, he does it the best. So, that's why I am glad to be working with him. I didn't know you could put other fish and was bad, as I thought it would kill anything you put with them. Lori, if you're still... I'm supposed to be moving at some point after I move. I want to get a tank of papers with those blue fish. Can I put them all together? I'm sorry, I'm not sure which fish you're talking about. Kelly, right there, says it. That's awesome that you're working with Dan's Fish. He does an awesome job shipping fish. Yeah. It's honestly pretty crazy. Like, I don't understand it. The lengths he goes to get you healthy fish. I'm like, how do you even make money doing it the way you do? I don't even understand. But, I mean, obviously he does. So he's been doing it for a while. But, yeah, it's pretty insane getting, like, a fish order and having, like, every fish individually bagged. It's just, man. Let alone, like, the time. Password is password 123. Yeah. If you're talking about powder blue tangs, and I would probably do one. I would also make sure to have a 6-foot tank. Logs you out, and then the thing that really annoys me is when it logs you out, and then you only get like 3 tries. I'm like, I can't guess it in 3 tries, and then you get locked out for like an hour or something stupid, and at that point I'm just like, whatever. Totally over it, whatever it is I was trying to do. I guess the bills aren't getting paid this month. Whatever. It's not my fault. It's their website. Eric Wyrock with the $5 super chat says, thank you for your help with breeding cories. I feed them a combo of Rapashi and Tubifax swarms from the co-op and change my water during a thunderstorm. That'll do it. Thunderstorms. It doesn't even have to be a thunderstorm, although it's pretty much guaranteed that they will spawn in a thunderstorm if you just feed the crap out of them. Do like a cold water change during a thunderstorm. Oh yeah, there's just something about that will make corridors pretty freaky. And Aqua Discovery with the $1 super chat. Thank you both for the super chats. I appreciate it. I really do. Kevin says, what's up, Bob? Set up a dirty 10-gallon for some licorice gourami black water. Man, I have so many 10-gallon tanks right now. I kind of want to do a dirty tank just for fun, but I don't want to end up moving it in a month. Eric Wyrock says, my Adolphoi spawned today. Man, there you go. Wow. That's a good one to spawn too. Those are not very cheap. Chat says, I appreciate your consistency of your live streams. I look forward to Monday night every week. Well, thank you, Chad. I appreciate it. I think I've only missed one. Technically, I've missed 2 because I did have Corey and Jimmy fill in for me one time, but the live stream was still here, so that counts. Otherwise, I've only missed 1. One live stream. Wait, maybe 2. I don't know. Still, I feel like missing a couple in only 5 years is pretty good. Pretty good. Fish from Dan are amazing to open. I got African butterfly fish individually bagged, all arrived great. God, that's so crazy. When the biometric pressure is dropping, don't come a knocking. That is truer words have never been spoken. I really need to figure this out. Because, you know, I got the affiliate link for Dan's Fish, and now I can't even log into my site. And he's probably going to re-watch this stream and think, what an idiot. Why am I working with this guy? And I keep pressing numbers, and that's going to give me a copyright strike, so that's pretty awesome. All right, I'm just going to quit guessing. CJ Black coming to the Steen Dream Team. Welcome, CJ Black. That is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. We are going to try to have our first members-only movie night this Friday. It may, members, this is for you guys, may get delayed a week because I'm waiting on an answer from YouTube on if, basically, I'm trying to find out how bad is my copyright strike going to be for live streaming a movie in a private stream. So it's not even going to be public. It's just going to be private. So I feel like I should be kind of exempt from a full-blown copyright, take my channel down. But we'll see. I'm waiting on clarification because I would much rather just stream it through YouTube. Also, I can buy the movie on YouTube, and I think if I buy it on YouTube and watch it on YouTube, then I should be able to stream it privately on YouTube. I don't know. They're not really the quickest at responding to help emails. Is Caddyshack still winning? Yep, Caddyshack is one. That's what we're going to be watching. We're just going to hang out and watch Caddyshack. There's a whole list of movies that we got to watch. So there's no shortage of, and it's just going to be goofy movies like that. So Jurassic Park. I would totally do Jurassic Park. Welcome to the team, CJ Black. Kelly Foreman with a $5 super chat. Just super chatting to set off the noise. Do you guys hear it? I wonder, are you hearing it? Does it make the noise for you, or do you just hear it because I'm playing it through my speakers? Son of a quack. Speaking of dirted tanks, some of my wisteria I've planted in my new dirted tank as bottom leaves turning brown and falling off. Is this some kind of deficiency? And they all have healthy roots. If it's new, I would say YouTube and chill. Yeah. Anyways, if it's new water wisteria, I would say it's probably just converting from immersed to submersed growth, which is perfectly normal. Yeah, I get massive strike. I hear the noise. I hear the noise. The Fish Room ABQ. That must have been Caddyshack. Must have been Caddyshack. Like, they're going to watch Caddyshack. I got to watch it. I got to become a member. Thank you. I appreciate it. Just trying something different. You know, members only movie nights. Should be pretty fun. What we do in the Goofy movie on the private stream. Yeah. All members only streams are private. So they're always, so that's in previous members only stream. I get copyright strikes left and right for all the YouTube videos we watch. Like we were watching Kevin James' channel, and it doesn't really hurt my channel at all. But if we like sit down, and those are only like 5-minute clips, but if we sit down and watch like a 2-hour movie, that might get me in trouble. So that's what I'm waiting for clarification. Zane with the $5 super chat says, yesterday I cleaned my heavily stocked 750-gallon ponds, filter pads, and changed water. Today the pads are as mucky as they were before. How do I fix this? You gotta keep doing it. If they keep getting murky like that, that means your pond is just that murky. Unfortunately, you might just be playing that battle for, I mean, you could be doing this for like every week for like the next 2 months before you finally get all the gunk out of there. You could try to like manually remove it. I don't know how, like if it's just like decaying leaves and stuff that you could scoop out with a net, that's one thing, that's an easy way to get it out. But if it's like just that sludge kind of slime, you can get like a water pump and kind of like move the pump around and suck it up through there. That's what I do with blue-green algae when it gets in my tanks. I just take a water pump and pump it right out. Adele, again, I hope I'm saying the name right. Welcome to this dream team. I appreciate it. And again, Fish Room ABQ, thank you for becoming members. No, the Goofy movie with Goofy. Yeah. What if the leaves of the new wisteria are submerged growth? They were at an LFS for a while. So this is one of those plants. It's kind of like another one of the plants that'll do this is jungle val. Even if you take it from one tank and put it in another tank, like Crips will do this sometimes. It'll drop all the leaves and regrow just because of the water. It's in shock. There's new water parameters, and it'll drop its leaves and grow back and then be like adjusted to the new water parameters. Wisteria, water sprite, jungle val, Crips. I've had this happen with all of those plants before. As long as it keeps growing back, I would say just have patience. It should, especially if you just set up the tank, that means it's going through a lot of changes. Your tank hasn't really settled in yet. A dirted tank is going to take like 2 to 3 months to really like settle down and get kind of established. It'll take like 6 months, but usually after 2 to 3 months, you'll get through all like the spikes and everything. Anybody use pond sludge remover? I use some barely wheat in my pond and had some success, but never stuck it long enough. I've tried that sludge remover stuff so many times, and I've never. It's like the water clarifier stuff. I've used that stuff, and it just never works. I don't know. I am like so anti like buying stuff off the shelf at the fish store. Like when I go to Petco and there's just a massive shelf of chemicals and additives and all of this stuff, and I'm just like, such a waste of money. Such a waste. Now, obviously not all of it, like Prime, for example, Prime's a good thing to have. If you have live plants, then obviously like fertilizers are good to have, but like pH up, pH down, water clarifier, all this stuff is just like, you're doing way more harm than good. I thought about doing like a standalone video of like just stop wasting your money on these chemicals, and maybe I will. All right, Sin, I'm going to address this right now. You start off and you say I have a really dumb question, and I'm going to say no question is dumb here. All right, we are all here to help our fellow fish nerds. This is a welcoming environment. Don't be worried if and I'm not signaling you or like pointing you out, but if there's someone out there that has a question and they're like, I don't want to seem like an idiot, I don't want to ask this question, ask it. We're all here to help. The more questions we can answer, the more people we can bring into this hobby and hopefully keep in the hobby. So anyways, I'll leave that rant now. I have a really dumb question, but here it goes. When a fish dies, when you're little, your parents flush the carcass, but is this not kosher anymore? It's still advised not to flush your fish. Millions of people probably still do it. I've done it. I'm not going to lie. I've done it out of frustration one time. And yeah. But for the most part, if one of my fish dies now, they go into my compost pile, which gets, broken down, and I use it for compost to grow plants. My only chemical is Seachem Prime. Yep. Kenneth says there are a lot of gimmicky products. So many. I wonder if I can find the photo, because I was actually in Petco, and I was like, I cannot believe how much crap is on this shelf. This was a while ago. I don't know if I can find it. I take a lot of stupid pictures. Well, that didn't take long. Can we make it bigger? Yeah. Look at all this stuff. I don't know. It's probably not going to pick it up, but look at all that stuff. Let's see. I don't know. It might be too small. Yeah, I can't really see the specifics. Like Safe Start, Aqua Safe. So there's Safe Start Plus. Then there's Aqua Safe. And I'm pretty sure both of those are advertised as like the same. Algae Fix. Stupid product. I really can't. Yeah, clarity. These are just the ones that I can see. Stability, Seachem stability. I'm not really a fan of that. Like, you shouldn't have to buy products to make your aquarium stable. Your aquarium is already stable, like, unless it's like new or you have some type of die off or there's some sort of crash. Like, your aquarium is pretty stable. You really don't need to be adding this stuff. I can't see. There's just so much. Goldfish Protect. Like, come on. Don't even get me started on the goldfish and betta stuff. That's just all the same product that's just rebranded. Oh, man. Yeah, every single brand has a water clarifier. Quick Start. Yeah, Quick Start. Don't even get me started on that. That's total snake oil. Very few brands actually have beneficial bacteria. Anyways, bottles of betta water. So, yeah, the thing with betta water, though, is that normally it is at least like tannined water. At least the few that I've seen. At least it is, high in tannins. So there's something like, I have seen people like treat sick bettas with that betta water. Now, it's probably specific on the brand. Like, whatever the Petco, like Imagitarium or whatever that is, when it says betta water, we know that's stupid. But I think, is it Fritz or something has like betta water that actually has tannins in it, which are beneficial to most fish, especially bettas. Kevin, what kind of cories are these? These are Corydoras adolphoi. Adolph Corydoras. And this little thing right here is my air conditioning unit. Oh, man. That's so good. Tesla Killdozer with the $11.56 super chat says, "Hey, Bob, doing my usual super chat." Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Oddball Aquatics says, "I can literally find more things to use in my aquarium in the backyard than I can at PetSmart and Petco." Yeah. The things that really get me is pH up. Okay. I'm not a fan of it, but pH down, like that stuff, if you overdose pH down, which people have done it happens on accident. I know. How do you do that on accident? It does. I've heard stories. You can if you overdose pH down, that's basically acid that you're dumping on your fish, and they will melt right in front of your eyes. I'm going to tell a story of someone who I met in person. We had a meet and greet, and he was telling me how he was using pH down, and I don't really have anything, but let's just say, like, we'll use this water bottle here, right? Let me back up. So, like, this is our thing of pH down. You take the cap off, and then you pour it in the cap, and then you do that, right? Well, he was doing that over his aquarium. Probably not the smartest thing ever, but I'm sure we've all done it over our aquarium. What had happened is it, like, clumped up, and so as he was pouring it, like, this whole, like, glob of pH down came out and just fell in his aquarium. And he said his fish just melted. Like, he tried to scoop his fish out, and like their scales and everything were just like oozing through the net. Like almost instantly his fish were melting. Like, that's insane. You think most bacteria starters are just a placebo? Yeah, snake oil. Also, Petco and PetSmart will do anything more for money, including selling bottled dechlorinated water. Yeah, I think it's funny when I see those 5-gallon buckets of water. Like, it's just water. It's one thing. I mean, I guess it's like RODI water, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's just water. I broke my audio. It got very quiet, huh? It's still showing pretty loud for me. It might have got quiet just because I moved back. Like, hello. Maybe I just moved it too far back. I am trying new audio settings for the few people that have issues with hearing me. Hopefully it's a little better. But yeah, I'm trying a new program, so hopefully the audio is better. That's the only thing I haven't changed. I've changed my mics. I've changed, that's pretty much it, my mics. But I've always used like the same program, so now I'm trying something else. And there's usually always, I would say, about 5% of the people that say they can't hear my audio. So those are specifically the people I'm talking to. Also, way cheaper to get a jug of distilled water for 80 cents at the grocery store. Also, instead of buying pH Down, like all you have to do is go get a piece of wood and put it in your aquarium. Get a bag of peat moss and put it in your in the back of your hang-on back filter, right? So many better things to do than pouring acid in your aquarium. Multi-jacker with the $10 super chat says, "Hey Bob, I'm back. Quick question. So I have hair algae in my tank and my scarlet temple on my scarlet temple. If I put a Florida flagfish in my tank to take care of it temporarily, will it fin nip my German blue ram?" In my experience, I would say no. I can't guarantee it, but Florida flagfish, I feel like, are going to be pretty much all over your hair algae, string algae, whatever it is, and probably won't worry too much about other fish as long as there's algae for them to eat. Even when they fin nip, it's usually not pretty bad. So, audio still good. Hi, Bob. Hi, Merrick. It was only when you backed away. Yeah, I kind of forget about that. Like, this mic is very, like, tuned to be right in front of my face. So as soon as I back up, like, a little bit, and I have it that way so that you don't hear fans or the AC, even though it's off right now. You still hear it a little bit, but yeah, that's the way this mic is set up to be. So if I move back like 2 feet, the audio just goes terrible, and I forgot. Paul McCarthy, hey, what's going on, buddy? But like, how high does your pH need to be to have pH down? Well, if I remember right, he had apistos, and he was trying to get them to spawn, and a lot of apistos need lower pH to spawn. If I remember the scenario right, that's what was going on. He was trying to lower the pH to get them to spawn. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what was going on. Whoa, that's a big Corey. Tiffany White, hello, welcome back. Matt Rude, I could time you out. What'd I miss? Keegan Box says the subtitles are great too. Are there subtitles now? That would be a surprise to me. I know real-time subtitles have been rolling out. I didn't know they were on my channel yet. That's pretty cool. Interesting. You know what I did forget to do, though? How can I do this? Here we go. Where is it at? Here we are. There we go. There. I keep forgetting to make this a permanent setting. Hopefully, maybe this time I'll remember. All right. There we go. Them Corey's gonna eat your head. I know. Whoa, look at Oh, man. I love the close-up of the corridors. I'm going to be using this footage in a video here pretty soon as well. I've also used it in other videos, but that's why it's called B-roll. What's up, Steen Dream Team? What's up, Michael Faulkner? All right, there was another announcement that I was waiting for people to come in here for, but now I forgot. New start time, movie night. There was 3 things. I can't read fast enough for subtitles. That's funny. I hate subtitles. I just cannot stand subtitles. Brandon says, I got some African cichlids a few days ago. Awesome. I love me some African cichlids. How young can mollies mate? You really can't put a time on it. You could do it by size, but like some people can get their mollies breeding really fast, like just power feeding them. And then some people, just feed once a day the normal amount, and maybe it takes 4 to 5 months for them to start breeding. Oh yeah, did you announce the movie for movie night? It is going to be Caddyshack. It looks like it's winning. Are my kale plants infected with aphids or covered in live fish food? Think outside the box. Do you feed them to your fish? Free brisket giveaway? Who is giving me free brisket? Is it you, Lumpy Dog? Are you giving me free brisket? Bob, do you think that the valve from the sound would survive in a tank, or do you think it would melt from the temperature? Doing mud skippers and want plants, but I know most plants don't do well in brackish. I've been wondering this myself because I have a brackish pond. However, it is illegal to remove those plants, and so I have to find a way to remove them without the billions of people that are on the beach. Not that they would say anything, because I'm not really removing it. Wink, wink. So yeah, I'm gonna have to hide them in my shorts or something. So I don't know. I think if you took them right out of that water and put them in a warm tank, they would crash right away. But I think if you acclimated them slowly over time, maybe. But again, Val is one of those plants that always crashes on me when taking it from different parameters. So yeah, I would bet that they would probably crash, but it might work out. Also, that area where they're at is pretty warm. I would say, well, it depends. So if you get it obviously close to the shore where it's shallow, then it's warmer. That's probably where you'd want to grab it from, but I don't know. I have a feeling it would probably crash and melt either way. Zen Ginger says, I just put mangroves in my mud skippers tank. I couldn't keep anything else alive. Yeah, that was my experience with brackish. People are always talking about, Java fern, Java moss. I've even had people say jungle val, and it's just like, come on. I've never had anything work. Is the sound saltwater? Yeah. Yep. It's the same water that's in the ocean, although there are definitely rivers that flow into it. So there's areas where it's brackish, but if you taste it like I have, it's very salty. Very, very salty. And I float, and I'm very buoyant, so I've never taken a refractometer down there, but there is definitely a lot of salt. Bob has a DNR there. Ever had a problem with gathering driftwood? I was looking at the Minnesota DNR website, and it looks like it's a little iffy legally in my area. I have never been caught, so I'm not sure how they feel about that. The only thing I've been able to find in my state that it is illegal to remove driftwood off of the beach, off the ocean. But I haven't found anything that says it's illegal to remove it out of the woods. I've found it's illegal to move horns from deer or elk that shed their horns. It's illegal to remove those. It's a $500 fine and 6 months in jail for some stupid reason. But I haven't found anything on wood. So I keep taking it down. I bring it off the mountains when I'm hiking, but I've never really come across a ranger or anything when I'm removing wood. Yeah, that was all right. Is that a plant in your pocket? Yeah. Waterproof kayak. Yeah, it'll be a lot easier when I get with the kayak. Yeah. Yeah, I could easily stash it in the kayak. I didn't even think of that. Would a 50-gallon lowboy be a good tank for mud skippers? I don't think so. I feel like it would be pretty easy for them to get out of a 50-gallon lowboy. And I think kind of the point of having a 50-gallon lowboy is having hardscape come up and out of the tank. And maybe if you built the island in the center, I don't know. Could they jump? Could they just Geronimo over the side? I don't know. Just got 12 red pencilfish yesterday. What an awesome looking and colorful fish. Any care suggestions? Very easy to care for. Think of them like a Tetra Rasbora. Just very typical community parameters. 78 degrees. I mean, it varies a little bit depending on the type, but if you just keep them 78 degrees neutral pH, they'll be happy as a clam. However happy a clam is, I don't know. What else do we got going on here? Regina, you changed your name. I'm still going to call you Regina Phalanges, though. Regina says, I missed the first members movie night. No, you didn't. We haven't had the first. The first one is scheduled for this Friday, as long as I can get YouTube to respond to me by then. So yeah, you haven't missed one yet. It'll be this Friday. Yeah, it disturbs the natural habitat. I know. Like, yeah. Removing dead wood from forest sounds like wildfire mitigation to me. There you go. That's an excellent point. If I ever get stopped, that's what I'll say. I'll say I'm working on wildfire mitigation. Imagine having arrested for taking driftwood on your criminal record. I would fight it. I have fought in everything and in my life, except for my very first speeding ticket. I don't know why. When I got my very first speeding ticket, like, I didn't even know you could hire a lawyer for a speeding ticket. But once I found that out, lawyer every single time. What was that BS you were saying before about your dream reptiles? We all know your dream reptile is a pet dwarf caiman. Yep. I forgot. Dwarf caiman. Valid point, Bob. I saw this 50-gallon lowboy for sale at my local Petco, trying to find any ideas in case I get it. Shrimp or multis. Shell dwellers are really cool in a lowboy. And shrimp tanks are also really cool in a lowboy. Really any nano fish is cool in a lowboy. Although I don't think it's even possible anyone could gather enough driftwood in the state to even make a dent in the environment. Yeah. We have no shortage of wood in the forest. Jim, I never tried that, but Java Moss, Java Fern, Crypt, Windedii, and none of them acclimated, even mostly emerged, with the filtered water running around them, like was suggested. Ticket clinic all the way. I have no idea what that is, but maybe a law firm. I've had the same lawyer for like 20 years. Bob, I know you're not a Jeep fan. I am a Jeep fan, but do you plan on jumping on the new Bronco bandwagon? No. You know how rich I would have to be to spend $50,000 on a car? I don't even know how much money, like cash on hand, like liquid assets. How much money I would probably have to have, like a pile of $2 million in 20s for me to go spend $50,000 on a new car. Like, I'm of the opinion that new cars are a terrible investment. Hold off on the new Bronco for a few months, still working on a few bugs. Yes, and after owning my 2010 Genesis Coupe, which was the first year that car was made, I definitely never, ever will own another car on the first run. Like, the first year it comes out. Even though I now own a first year Nissan Xterra. That's a little bit different. It's like 20 years old, all right? Wood removal seems like doing fire prevention these days. I see what you did there. The biggest wildfire in the country right on this coast. So yeah, fire prevention. That's just, I swear, like every year it's just more and more fires. Lumpy Dog, did you get the, I don't get me wrong. I really like the new Bronco, not the two-door. Like that's like a Jeep Renegade. It's just dumb. But I do really like the new four-door Broncos, but I can never imagine spending that much money on a car. Well, I mean, I would, but like I said, I'd have to be pretty well off. That's actually my dream reptile. That's why I have my black throat, building my skills for a dwarf caiman. I'm using all Apple devices and can't seem to be a member without paying the Apple surcharge. Has anyone got a like so I can do it on a web browser? Does anyone got a like? I think you just open Safari and go to YouTube on Safari, or maybe you have to download a different web browser. I'm not sure, but yeah, that just says surcharge. I wish there was a way like I could just like refund, like boom, I'll give you $1 out of my income this month, just boom for everyone on Apple. It's so dumb. Just one of the reasons I hate Apple. I equally hate Google, but not for that reason, for other reasons. I'm just hoping the skies don't go gray here again. It doesn't look like we're gonna get much rain this year. It's been a pretty fun summer so far. Yeah. It was like probably like 4 years ago now, where even like in my town, like there was just smoke coming in my house. That was crazy. I used to have an 88 full-size Bronco. I love that vehicle. Yes, I had a 1990 Bronco 2, which I still really love that car. I would much rather go pay $1,500, $2,000 on a Bronco 2 than go buying a new Bronco for $50,000 or $60,000. I did it on my Mac, no extra charge. I think it was Chrome. Oh, is that it? So yeah, Chrome. That's funny. That's funny that Apple even allows Chrome to be on their device. I'd like to see some Broncos in the wild and help someone break one, but I wouldn't own one. It's hazy and there's small smoke outside from the fires here in Connecticut. Just talking about the new Broncos today. I mean, I was really excited like a year and a half ago when they first came out, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pay the $100 deposit and I'm gonna get one. And then like after the like excitement wore off, I'm like, oh yeah, never mind. That's a terrible idea. Michael Faulkner says, I'm a Jeep guy and won't want to drive anything else. Michael Faulkner, I wish I could share this. Let me see if I can somehow share this. Where is it at? Let's see. No, there's no way I can share this. Basically, Michael Faulkner, this meme was like meant for you. Like they built this meme. It's basically like a guy trying to explain to this woman about his rooftop tent, and he says it's like a regular tent, but you have to climb a ladder to get to it. It's like $4,000, and I camp twice a year. I just carry it around on my 4Runner the rest of the year. Pretty sweet, huh? Just rooftop tents. Oh my gosh, that's so accurate of rooftop tent people. A majority of them. They use it once or twice a year. They pay $4,000, and it's so inconvenient. And I know this to be true because every time I see rooftop tents in the wild, the people never know how to set them up, and it takes them an hour to figure out, okay, how do I crank this thing open again? I don't know. I'd buy a Bronco 2 before a new Bronco. I love the Bronco 2. I love that they're so small. They can get anywhere. The new electric Ranger is the only thing I'm thinking about. Could justify buying. Is it the Ranger or the Maverick? I thought the Maverick was all electric. Anyways. I love my Audi S-Line Quattro. I love my hoopties, man. I mean, I don't know why we're talking about cars right now, but I gotta tell you, I love my old cars. They cost me like $2,000, and I'm perfectly happy with them. Looking at a tow behind smaller campers now. I do like the little pop-up campers. I do like those. I think those have some merit. Rooftop tents, they're so expensive and such a pain. Maverick is a plug-in hybrid. All right, we're not at the second hour yet, so let's get some fish questions. Who's got some fish questions before we open this up, even though we've been talking about everything but fish for the last half hour anyways? At Caitlin, looks like Bob just lost a sub. What? Wouldn't be the first time. I don't know who I lost, but that'll happen. Seattle typically has 1 to 2 months of absolutely beautiful, warm, sunny weather, but it's been beautiful since May. Yep. I agree. I picked the perfect summer to start kayaking. I want Bob's cop car. I am thinking about selling it, but it's not going to sell for cheap. Maverick is a nice truck. I don't know why they had to go with Maverick. Like, I love the Ford Maverick. Like a 1976 Ford Maverick two-door. I think is a really cool car. But now it's a truck. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways. 1975 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Can a wild-caught crayfish bring disease mostly through the exoskeleton? It is very rare for a disease to go from a vertebrate to an invertebrate. Very rare. So rare that I would never even worry about it. I would never think twice about it. How many Julia corridors can I fit at 20 long? They'll only be the only thing in this tank. If they're the only thing in the tank, you could probably do a dozen. I would probably start with like 6 to 8, 6 minimum. But I feel like you could do a dozen pretty easily, even if they're not the only fish in there. However, if there was other fish, I'd probably tone it down to about 8. Every time I feed my fish, they poop. Is there a chemical additive I can use to stop the pooping? It doesn't look good in the substrate. What's the opposite of a laxative? I don't remember. Fish question, kinda. Would you move the Pow Mekong puffer fry to a grow out from a breeder box 16 days old now? So I mountaintop puffer keeper. I have never bred puffers in my life, but I feel like if you're past the 2-month mark, I would probably move them into their own tank. But again, I'm definitely not a pufferfish breeder at all. My dad found a frog in New Hampshire that had a blue body and a yellow legs, and yellow legs. I think it's partially an exanthic green frog. What do you think? I'm not familiar with frogs from New Hampshire. I wonder, you could probably do like canned pumpkin, maybe, is known to kind of, stiff things up a bit down there. What would I buy right now with about $200 ships at Dan's Fish? Rainbows, of course. Ooh. Let me look. Where are we at? Rainbows. There was some on here the other day. Where are they at? Oh, they might not, they might be sold out. Oh, shoot. All right, so I'm going to tell you the Glossolepis wanamensis are really, really cool. Chilothrina blaheri are really, really cool. Sicuensis, really nice. Out of all of these, which one would I get? Man, Centenniensis are really nice. If I had to pick one of these. If I was buying these, I would probably get the Glossolepis wanamensis because I've always wanted like a pure. It's so hard to get a pure strain Glossolepis these days. I swear, it's one of the hardest rainbows to get in a pure strain. I'd probably go with the wanamensis. Using canned puppies, using canned pumpkin with my puppies for fiber, working great. Yep, that's where I got it from. I need to call some cherry shrimp. I was thinking of putting them in my African cichlid tank. Is this okay? Worry about protein overload? No, I wouldn't worry about it at all, Pam. There's not a lot of African cichlids that you really have to worry about that. If you think about it, in the wild, African cichlids, they eat fry like all day long. Like, they have no problems eating fry. They'll have no problems eating shrimp. The ones I would be concerned about, probably like Tropheus. I wouldn't want to just gut load them with shrimp. But yeah, I really wouldn't be too worried about it. Now, I wouldn't be putting them there every day. Like, obviously, variety, you know, maybe like once a week you throw some shrimp in there for them. Is there honestly a rainbow that Bob is not going to say is really, really nice? I mean, yeah. Have you seen those short body balloon rainbows? Those are absolutely disgusting. And it's not even the rainbow's fault. The people that made those are disgusting. No problem saying that. By the way, did you know there is a shortage of large tanks? It wouldn't surprise me. I haven't even looked at tanks in so long, like brand new. I don't know. My Petco is like full of like 75 gallon and 90 gallons. I don't know what your definition of large is, but I don't know. I know like 3 years ago there was a shortage on glass. Somehow, I don't even know how that's a thing. What, did the world run out of sand? I don't know. But there was a shortage of glass, and that kind of caused a little spike. Dwarf Kamaka Bob, no, I don't think. I mean, obviously those are awesome fish, but I feel like those are getting pretty common nowadays. I always see them for sale. So if I had like $200 right now, I would go for something that's a little bit more rare. And pure strain Glossolepis wanamensis is pretty dang rare. Makolachai Stark River would be a pretty cool one. But again, becoming easier and easier to get. But like the Sicuensis, those would be on my list. I mean, I already have them, so it's kind of like they're kind of farther down on the list for me. You guys need to calm down. Or go drink some water and keep playing. Anyways, let's come back to the stream. I bought some Radinocentris Carlin Creeks. They get here tomorrow. That is awesome. That is awesome. I hope that at some point Dan can get some Radinocentris, because I would plug the crap out of those. Those are such amazing fish. They don't need a heater. They're so easy to care for. Petco doesn't even carry over 90 gallon unless you buy it in a full kit with stand. To be fair though, Petco has never carried over 90 gallon. PetSmart sometimes will stock like 120s and 125s, but in all my years I've never seen a bigger than 90 gallon at a Petco, like ever. Bob, what plant did you say helps get rid of duckweed? Jungle Val. In pretty much any Vallisneria will, now, if you buy one Vallisneria and you're just caked in duckweed, it's not going to do anything. So it depends on how much duckweed you have. But yeah, those two plants do fight each other and kill each other off. So excited, I finally got my Crested Gecko Vivarium reviewed by Chris at Fish for Thought. Hey, go. You guys have your own room to wrestle. Not here. Heaters? We don't need no stinking heaters. It's true. I think people would be surprised. There's definitely a lot of fish that you really don't need heaters for. 75 and under for my Petco. Yeah, that's pretty common. You got the Rads from Marcel. He is Roseline 17 on Aquabid. He does sell fish to Dan to move at the end of the season. Yeah. Marcel is a really, really good rainbow fish breeder. Really, really, really good. I've got multiple tanks with lots of jungle val and lots of duckweed at the same time. Yeah. Like I said, you need, if it's like even Stevens, it's probably not going to do anything. You need a lot of one to take over the other. But I've had it multiple times where tanks with jungle val and duckweed, the duckweed slowly just dies away. And you can look it up online too. It's called alleliopathy. Alleliopathy? Something like that. I was going to buy a couple plants and then scoop out as much as the duckweeds as I could. Now, keep in mind, this is not something that happens overnight. Like, this is something that takes months. Months. I've seen 90s at my Petco 2 times. I bought them both times. There you go. Steenfott stream number 2 now. Attack of the Killer Wolves. All right. Also, freeze it in a small candy molds with plain yogurt with cherry shrimp and white clouds. Be able to breed in a 20-gallon. So white clouds are egg scatterers. So the shrimp might, kind of pick on the eggs. Also, the white cloud minnows will eat their own eggs. So yeah, they will breed, but they're going to need a lot of places for like eggs and everything like that to fall into, like crevices and stuff, so they don't get picked off. Soft water, like low pH, 6.6 out of tap. Schooling, shoaling fish for a 10-gallon. No tetra. Pencil fish, okay. If there are any, though. Pencil fish will do just fine in 6.6. You remember, they're from the Amazon, right? They'll do just fine in 6.5 pH. No problems whatsoever. I would highly recommend pencil fish. Dwarf pencil fish, Beckford's pencil fish. It doesn't really matter. They're all awesome. Paul McCarthy, back to the Steen Dream Team. Thank you, my friend. Allelopathy. I don't know. There you go, though, Alec. Alex coming out with the proper spelling at least, and then you can Google that. Wow, Bob, you're really racking up members tonight. I'm telling you, it must be the movie night. I don't know. Rach. Oh, hey, Rach, haven't seen you in forever. Hey, buddy. I'm watching you as I build an aquarium stand for my 29-gallon. Any suggestions as what I should get? Well, knowing you, Rach, I would say puffers. But what I would get like pseudomagills. I would get like Corydoras, Habrosis, really cool dwarf Corydora. Even like pygmy cories, any of them, Hastatus, any of the dwarf pygmies. We're talking about pencil fish, so pencil fish would be really good. I would go with maybe a smaller rasbora, like the neon blue rasbora. That's just how I would go. You know me, I love my nano fish. I love schools of fish. And Kyle makes an excellent point. We should all hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. And Liquid Zoo Only Fins. I really wish someone would make that website. Even if it's just a troll website. Only Fins. Thank you for joining the team. I appreciate it. Only Fins. Somewhere I saw a shirt that had the Only Fins. It was like the OnlyFans logo, but obviously it said Only Fins. Pretty good. There is a typo here. Is it just me? Welcome to join the Steen Dream Team. Yeah. I realized that mistake, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. Whatever. Grammar be damned here. Ah, shucks. Thanks, Matt. P.S. No email listed. I looked. Wait, what? My email? Blue Water Jim, welcome to join. You are... Okay. No, we can save this. You are all welcome to join the Steen Dream Team. How about that? You are all welcome. That kind of makes sense. How often do I have to feed snails to Amazon puffer fish? Honestly, I would probably have a ready supply, but I've never had issues with their teeth before, so they don't really need a lot. My staple with Amazon puffers has always been bloodworms or live blackworms. And usually they just pick off the snails as they naturally occur in the aquarium. If anyone needs Malaysian trumpet snails, I have enough to completely crash any size tank. My favorite snail of all time is the Malaysian trumpet snails. They are so good for planted tanks. We don't need no stinking grammar. Yes, it bugs me, Bob. Put join the Steen Dream Team instead of just I don't have a choice. Like, YouTube did that, not me. Like, we talked about this like 6 months ago, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And they're like, well, maybe it's because you made it that way. Well, then I went and looked at it, and it is the correct way. And so, I don't know. And then, like, anytime you make changes, you have to wait for YouTube to approve it. It's such an annoying nightmare. I'll fix it one of these days. I'll figure it out. First, I got to figure out movie night, though. That's job number one. Any reason my MTS head to the top of the water at night or when the light is off? That is perfectly normal. That is what they do. I can't tell you why they do it, but they do it. Every tank I have at night, they just litter the aquarium. And then during the day, you wouldn't even know they're in there. That is what makes them one of my favorite snails ever. They're always churning the substrate, so it's like worms in your garden. MTS are always just in your substrate, churning it, moving it, getting rid of any gas pockets. Really awesome snails. Like, I would never even think to get rid of them ever, no matter how many. And I've had so many of them, like, you can't even see in the tank at night. That's how many I've had. But during the day, they're just gone. You might see one or two, but there's thousands of them in there. I think it's cool. I wouldn't worry about putting my Ricans outside. They're my aquatic puppies. I finally got some of my duckweed to grow, but it's still only a few pieces. Any tips? I'm still struggling to grow it. No, I will never aid in the growing of duckweed. That is just so opposite of anything that makes sense in my mind. Chances are you might need more nitrate, though, honestly. Yeah, usually when it comes to like floating plants or fast growing plants in general, usually it's a nitrate deficiency. And you could have like, well, there's a million fish in here that are pooping nonstop all day long. There shouldn't be a shortage, but it is still very possible. Still very possible. If anyone needs Malaysian trumpet snails, Rach says, I will gladly take them off your hands. I've always heard that Amazon puffers have horrible teeth, so never consider them. Are they as personal as Congo spotted puffers? No. They are. I've never had an issue with teeth with them, and I've never come across that problem. I think they're a really, really good entry level puffer. If you don't want to spend $200 on a Congo spotted puffer, spending $20, $30 on an Amazon puffer is the way to go. They're not that difficult to keep. I used to keep a 150-gallon tub stocked with huge ranchos and arandas. I live in California, but I still put a heater in during the winter just so they wouldn't be in freezing water. Finally got some of my duck. There's probably so many people angry at you right now. Why is he trying to grow duckweed? That's so unnatural. You need to go drink some water, buddy. All right? Instead of coming and breathing your hot breath on me. Go away. Go away. Oh, I'm just kidding. I love you too. I love you too. Yes. Okay, now for real. Go away. Go away. I love my freaky Malaysian trumpet snails. They're the most mysterious and magical tank inhabitants. It's true. Spotted Congo puffer, Amazon and pea puffers. Mama needs to feed her babies. I'm surprised you just don't have like a 5-gallon bucket or multiple of just like mass producing snails. Amazon puffers are also community fish. This is true. This is true. How would I go about transitioning my tanks from pond snails to MTS? I don't know that you could transition. I think you would probably just have both. Maybe the Malaysians eventually would outcompete the pond snails for food, but you're probably just going to have both. Red root floaters go crazy in CO2 injected tanks. I've given so many away. No one around me even wants them anymore. They are somewhat manageable in a low-tech tank. Yep. The best red root floaters I ever had was when I was running CO2. Oh, I got to move so I can... Oh, yeah. Now I can slouch. Yeah. I love you too, buddy. Kill all the duckweed. I agree. I don't know why you would want duckweed, but there's actually a lot of people, surprisingly, that love duckweed. I don't get it. I'll never get it, but people do love their duckweed. Uh-oh. Okay. Sometimes I won't see an MTS for weeks, and then out of nowhere there will be hundreds. I do have yo-yo loaches in that tank, though. I'm sure that plays a role in it. MTS, they have way harder snails, though. Shells, way harder shells. So I definitely wouldn't suggest MTS for puffers, but it does make them a little bit harder for loaches to suck them out of there. I have a pea puffer, which obviously is quite different, but I want something bigger as well. Best part about puffers is their level of interaction. Would rather spend more for the personality. I mean, Amazon puffers definitely have a personality, but I wouldn't say it's a personality that's going to interact with you. They definitely interact with everything in the tank, though, which is still quite fun. Hey, Bob, will movie night be on when Lucas is streaming? Nope, we do it after. So we've been doing our streams Friday night the last couple weeks, and I always wait for Lucas to end his stream because I won't stream over Lucas. Can you guys hear my dogs? This is getting a bit ridiculous. I like it because it's a good natural filter and goldfish food because I definitely have goldfish. Well, I guess that makes perfect sense then. Totally makes perfect sense. Sometimes I forget about the goldfish, people, and I remember when I got my goldfish, people were like, oh, throw all your duckweed in there, and I did, and the duckweed just took over the aquarium, and the goldfish didn't even touch it. So I do kind of forget about the goldfish. I kept some duckweed in one tank for a friend with a goldfish, but once I realized the plant can fly across rooms and floors, that was it. It does, too. It's like a helicopter. It just... right on over. Lisa, you love duckweed. I'm gonna send Lisa a bag of duckweed for her 50th birthday, which is next week. And Impulse purchased some shell dwellers online. Might cancel the order, or should I just roll with it? Michael Wall, if you have room, if you have a tank for them, by all means, keep them. There's not really a bad shell dweller. I don't even know which one you have, but it doesn't even matter because there's not a bad one. They are a really fun fish. So if you got the space, absolutely. A puffer I would love to see more is the Fahaka. It doesn't seem like a lot of people keep them. Because a Fahaka puffer is one of the aggressive puffers. And they get big. So, like, you don't see a lot of Mabu puffers. You might see a lot of Mabu puffers in, like, the YouTube realm. But as far as, like, actual fish rooms and fish keepers, I would say there's far more Fahakas out there than there are Mabu puffers. But yeah, Fahakas can definitely be one of those puffers that are just like, you know what? I'm bored today and I'm just going to kill everyone. I don't even care. So yeah, I think that's why they're not as popular. They can definitely have tank mates like larger South American cichlids, geophagus, things like that. They generally won't go after like larger fish, but yeah, they can definitely just get angry for no reason one day, or they'll just live their life being happy as a clown. I don't know. I'm finally back, so I can finally start to set up my new 5-gallon. Awesome. Your dogs are great. My Aussie pup is being rude, so no issues. At least, though, my fish don't bark. Yeah, they're, like, overly active right now. Like, even for these psychopaths. I don't know what is their deal. I don't know what their deal is. What is their deal? I don't know. I have a 55-gallon and bought 7 Neolamprologus splendens, so kind of rock dwellers. Do you suggest I keep the order? Neolamprologus splendens. I'm not familiar with that one. If they are a rock dweller, I think you would be just fine. You can like pile some rocks on one side, put the shells on the other side, and I think you'd be just fine. Neo Lamprologus. My dog is so very tired. These dogs are tired. And I agree, Wendy. My dogs are great. I'm very spoiled, aren't I? Dragon Lair, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Michael, cool. I'm not sure what they are, but happy for you. Yeah, I don't think you'd have a problem in a 55-gallon. Like I said, just stack rocks on one side, shells on the other. When is my birthday? I don't have birthdays. My birthday is just another day. Ozzy has been a member for 4 months in a row. That's a weird... I've never got that notification before. Interesting. That must be something new. How often do Kudo Punctata spawn? Mine have another batch as of this weekend. First fry are about a ½ inch. They would probably spawn about every like 50 to 70 days. Give or take a little bit. Corey did a stream on puffers, and I guess his former employee had a fahaka who was fine with other fish unless it was red. If it was red, it was a goner. If you're red, you're dead. Plain and simple. I know there used to be a fish breeder by me who had a fahaka puffer, and anything that went in that tank that was under 6 inches was just dead. It didn't matter what it was. Anything under 6 inches. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Rocks on one side and shells on the other towards the front. Yep. And really, one thing with shell dwellers is it doesn't even matter where you put the shells. If they don't want them there, they will move them. And chances are they will even move them over to the rock pile. That happened a lot, and it still wasn't a problem. Granted, when I had shellies, I did them with Juliochromis, which is an actual rock dweller, and they got along just fine. Bob doesn't have birthdays yet. Every day is Lisa's birthday. It's true. It's true. My birthday is on the perfect day this year. I don't even know what that means. Bob, are you selling the angels in the thumbnail? No. No one could afford these angels. They're so expensive. That blue, man, it took so long to line breed these angels fish in Photoshop to get them that blue. Like, I don't know. They're I don't think I could ever sell them. So much went into the line breeding those fish to get that color on Photoshop. I love birthdays. I get to make people cakes. Well, I do like cake on my birthday. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the very few times that I will eat sweets. I'm back looking at the Memorial Day stream, and I'm about to screenshot the quote of, if I'm down here because I was eaten by a polar bear, I'll know not to do that again. Yeah. If I get eaten by a polar bear, I know not to swim with them again. Have I ever seen a Connie Corso? Yes, we got one at the shelter that I volunteer at. And I don't know if I still have a picture of him. Dude's head was massive. Massive. We've got him a couple times. They are such impressive dogs. Let's see if I still have a picture of him. I have video, but no picture. Maybe I didn't take a picture. Maybe I just took video. But yeah, we've had, I think I want to say 3 since I've been volunteering in the last year and a half. Has anyone ever kept Julies? I have. Many times. For a tiny fish, shell dwellers are pretty much okay with anything they can't swallow them whole. Yep. Even dwarf caimans. I looked them up. They are Neolamprologus helianthus. They are like a 4-inch yellowfish. Yes, I know I cannot pronounce that one, but I do know which one that is, and they'll be just fine. I hope 7 is enough. How long does it take? I hope 7 is enough. How long does it take rock dwellers to breed? How long does it take? Like, you really can't put a date on it. You have to do it by size. It's more of like how long is it going to take them to mature? Well, it depends on how often are you feeding? Are you power feeding them and growing them out really fast? Are you just like feeding them once a day? Where is Danny? She's probably at work, maybe. I would love to have one, but a 5-foot lizard already owns my basement. I wouldn't have time for both of them. I think a black throat monitor is a far superior choice than a caiman. You know, that's just my opinion, though. Do you ever see Catahoulas at your shelter? All three of my dogs are Catahoula mixes. Never a pure breed, and when they try to guess mixed breeds, they pretty much just put whatever the less threatening breed is. Like, they will never say that a dog is a pit bull at the shelter. It's kind of funny. Like, my dog is obviously a pit bull mix, but they had him as a boxer mix, which is like, no, not even close. What's up? Better late than never. Thomas George, what's going on, buddy? Curtis says, I assume she's doing life. Danny does life. Yep. Carla says, my crabenzas laid eggs while I was gone. Algae covered my tank. How do I know there are still eggs? So it depends on how long it's been. It doesn't take, I think it's like 72 hours for crabenzas fry or eggs to hatch. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've spawned crabenzas. But if it's been like a week and you don't have fry yet, they probably didn't make it. My koi love duckweed. My birthday is coming up too. My crabenzas laid eggs, but I already got that one. Yeah, Carlo, it really depends. Like I said, if it's been like a week, they probably didn't make it. A black-throat monitor might be superior to a caiman, but have you considered the joy of owning a Nile crocodile? I have never considered owning a Nile crocodile to be something that is joyful. Pit bulls are the friendliest. I wholeheartedly agree. Out of all the dogs, the thousands of dogs I've seen at the shelter, pit bulls are always the friendliest, always the most loving. Yeah, like if I had to like just group the whole breeds together like that, there's definitely some pit bulls that are not, but as a whole, as a majority, for sure. There aren't many Cataluas around here. I think they are more common in the south. Yeah, I can't remember offhand ever seeing one. Like maybe like a mix, but yeah. If you want a pit bull, get a Staffordshire Terrier instead. Insurance won't say anything about a Staffordshire. Well, in our state, it is actually illegal now to have breed restrictions anywhere. So, yeah, breed restrictions are gone in Washington State, which is nice. Good night from Michigan, 9 p.m. and I have to get up at 5 a.m. Great chat. Wendy, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out if you haven't, and that goes for everyone else too. Don't forget to hit the like button. After a few months now, I finally have some guppy fry, and they are growing strong. Awesome. It's always fun. Like, even if you've bred a fish 100 times, it's still always fun to see fry. Like, just always. This is why, like, I think, like, newcomers or kids, they should always start with, like, endlers or guppies or just something that's really easy to breed because it's just so exciting when they breed. I wish my state was the same. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, it just some random legislation just out of the blue got passed that got rid of breed restrictions. I don't know. Will bamboo shrimp be able to breed in freshwater? I have one buried up. Bamboo shrimp, interesting. I don't think I've ever researched breeding bamboo shrimp. That's a very good question, Regina. I feel like I kind of want to look that one up. Let's see what the old internet has to say. I'm sure someone in chat will say it by the time I find it. Let's see. I've never seen or heard of a buried bamboo shrimp. Okay. Of course, they're talking about now. Someone asked about bamboo shrimp, and then they start talking about a mono shrimp. Like, we're not talking about a mono shrimp, dude. All right, breeding. Where is breeding? All right. According to some German reports, in order to get buried bamboo shrimp, it is better to have a male to female 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah. Brackish water. After that, they hatch the tiny floating larvae. They need brackish water for the development. So yeah, it looks like you do need brackish water. There you go. It took an hour and a half, but we finally learned something on the stream. At least I did. Bamboo shrimp need brackish water. Manes, tails, furs, and fur and fins. Hello, welcome to the live stream. I still remember your email, and I will get back to you. 11 celestial pearl danio and a few shrimp and a scarlet batis and a 10-gallon heavily planted. Wyatt, I feel that's good. Larval stage, brackish water. Yep. Do Lake Tanganyika tanks look okay with some Anubias, or should I just do hardscape? They would do better with like you can do Anubias, but like Java Fern does better. There it goes again. Remember, for 4 months, I've never seen that notification before until today. Java Fern does better in like that harder water, in my experience, but Anubias would do fine too. And really, it's all about personal preference. Like, do you like the looks of plants in your Lake Tanganyika tank? I love jungle val in Lake Tanganyika, like biotopes, but that's just me. Haley, when are you gonna send my angels and plecos? Oh, they say mono shrimp need brackish, but I see tiny baby shrimps, so either I got fake mono shrimp, or they just cross with my yellow shrimp, or they're just your yellow shrimp that are not colored up. A mono shrimp definitely need brackish. Paul brings up an excellent point. Don't forget to hit the like button. I don't know how many likes we have, but it's not enough. Let's just take a look. 156. Okay, that's pretty good. I take it back. Bob, that's your special signal? My red tiger Montaguese just laid eggs for the first time. I know I didn't say that right. Now it's time to decide if I want a tank of monsters or do I cull to the Jack Dempsey. I feel like that might be a tough fish to get rid of a lot of fry. Unless you have a place already willing to take them. Might be tough. Just read a book on fish intelligence called What a Fish Knows. It's by Jonathan Bolcombe. I don't know. And demonstrates so many things that I hadn't heard of before. Blue Water Jim with the $2 super chat says, Blue Water Jim with the blue super chat just for being an awesome live stream. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. How many stir-by in a 20 long breeding setup? So if it's just like temporary for breeding purposes, you could definitely do like a lot more than if it was like a long-term housing. I would probably do at least like a dozen with like a minimum of 6. Needing recommendations for super low light plants for one of my outdoor ponds. It's in the corner under the porch and gets no direct light. If it was me, and I'm a glutton for punishment, I would probably try Anubias. Every time I've tried Anubias in a pond, it's always died. But I'm sure you have different water parameters than me. I don't know. I've never had success, but I always try and try and try again. So if it was me, I would try Anubias. But Yeah, other low light plants would be like crypts. You could pot some crypts at the bottom if you wanted. You could do floating plants. Floating plants need hardly any light. Haley, I ordered the last 3 Avatar Turkey Green Angel. Turkey Green Angels. Are we just making up names of fish over there now? Avatar Turkey Green Angels and 2 longfin super red bristlenose from Aquatic Arts 2 weeks ago. We were hoping we could start shipping again in 1 to 2 weeks. I think they are working on a restock order now, and we are still setting everything back up. Not living my best life. Forgot to have dinner. Eating hot dogs at 9 p.m. What am I, 8 years old now? There is nothing wrong with eating hot dogs, as long as they're like real hot, like all beef, like good hot dogs. Not that crap that's just leftover pig parts. Like that's gross, but. Nothing wrong with eating some good hot dogs late at night. Carlo, how do I tell my honey gourami is male? By the way, so definitely not a gourami expert. I just got my very first gourami recently, and maybe someone in chat can help you out. I'm definitely not a gourami expert, unfortunately. Hopefully someday, because I am really enjoying them. This is weird, but do you have a Discord? I do have a Discord, but I have never, ever shared it. If I do, it would be for members only. I'm not a huge Discord person. Not my favorite program in the world, so I rarely ever use it. So yeah. Kelly says, I had popcorn for dinner, kind of a personal low. It's too hot. It's just too hot to have popcorn. Like, it's so hard for me to eat popcorn in the summer. Like, hot food in the summer, I don't know. Uh-oh. But I'd be lying if I said I never had a microwave popcorn for dinner. There was, not saying this is your scenario, but I used to be pretty poor. And yeah, like I remember you could buy, like back then, you could buy like the 3-pack of popcorns for like 99 cents. And I'm like, dang, this is like 3 meals for $1. Yep, I used to do that. Would a crypt pink flamingo look good in an 8-gallon cube tank? Yeah, I don't see why not. Dog without the bun, yes please. I just ate instant white rice with a pouch of Velveeta cheese sauce for dinner. I mean, honestly, it seems like we have some really good gourmet cooks on the Dream Team. Just saying. Female gouramis have okay, here we go. Keegan's got it. My boy Keegan here. Female gourami have a round back on their dorsal fin, while males have a tipped back on top. Google image search can explain better than I. There we go. Thank you, Keegan. I appreciate it. My friend had decent success with aquatic arts. All the plants did, even with my help. I'm no plant master, but I know a thing or two about planted tanks. But the fish have done great. Decent success with aquatic arts. All the plants did. Yeah. Not poor, just hot and lazy. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't trying to imply that was your circumstance. It was definitely mine. Like I even told my friend, I was like, man, I get 3 meals for $1. And he was like, you're so stupid. And I'm like, yeah, so it's still 3 meals for $1. Your first mistake is your popcorn should never come out of a microwave. I know. But when you're poor. You do what you got to do. I just thawed some frozen bloodworms and ate them. I like to try my fish food before feeding the fish. Hey, whatever your strategies are for fish keeping, who am I to say whether that's a good or bad thing? I had 2 pots of coffee for dinner. I'm feeling better about my late dinner choice thanks to chat. I had orange chicken for dinner, and it was great. We should all hit the like button in the summer. I mean, theoretically, I would hope you hit the like button like all year round. Kaylor's Aquatics and Exotics with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on your stream. That was really fun. Look at Keegan trying to get this chat back on track. Hey, we're in the second hour here where anything goes. All right. If you stick around in the second hour, you got no one to blame but yourself. All right. I had chicken meatballs with marinara sauce and steamed broccoli and cauliflower. That sounds way too healthy. Way too healthy. Hate to bother you again, but scuds, forbatus, and pearl danios. Wyatt, scuds are amazing for any fish. I highly recommend them. If you can get a nice scud colony going, yeah, really, really good live fish food for fish. Winner, chicken dinner. I had Popeye's chicken. That $4 chicken sandwich is a deal of a lifetime. I don't know if they're the same down there in Florida, but here, like, those chicken sandwiches are like this big. It's ridiculous. It's almost gross how big they are. Like, how many steroids went into making this? They're huge. HGH. Hell of a drug. Second hour is the best part. I mean, I think it's pretty fun. Nathan, hot dogs are Hebrew Nationals. I gotta say, I'm kind of fond of the Hebrew Nationals, but both are good. Both are good. Like, I would not complain one way or the other if I was being fed either of those. Having leftover barbecue, top sirloin, and broccoli for dinner, yum. Well, I'll be right over. Keep it in the oven for me. I blame YouTube for the late notification. Well, I did start early, so also YouTube is not really sending out notifications for me because I've been terrible the last couple months. That being said, scooch back in so I can lean back. I am looking to return to regularly scheduled programming next month, so videos will start returning more regularly, which would be nice, and maybe after 2 or 3 months, I'll be back in YouTube's good graces, and they'll start sending out notifications again. So that'll be nice. Second hour is for bashing LeBron. I could get behind that. My wife made a baked chicken and rice meal. That also sounds very healthy. Do you hatch out BBS? I have never hatched out baby brine shrimp in my life. Have you done frozen? I have done frozen. I've been hatching some out, but frozen seems much easier. So, in the new fish room, I will try to hatch out my own brine shrimp for the first time. I do have a brine shrimp pond that I'm hoping does really well, and so then I could just like scoop out adults as needed, because adults make really good fish food too. And that's what I'm really focusing on. I would love to feed brine shrimp, like full-grown brine shrimp, to like full-grown rainbows. That would be amazing. I missed the late-night PUBG streams. Man, I couldn't even tell you the last time I played that game. It is so bad. I think I logged into it like 3 months ago for the first time in like 6 months. And like I got a headshot jumping out of the plane like instantly, and I was like, oh, some things have never changed. And I instantly logged right back out, and I was like, yep, that's why I quit playing. Too many cheaters. $5 for 6 days once, but potatoes anyway. Jimmy says, Caitlin, thank you for answering. I thought it might be. Oh, did I miss a question? I think it's illegal to own any native fish in Washington. It is actually not illegal if you buy them out of state and have them shipped in. So there you go. Same with reptiles. It is illegal to go out and collect them and bring them home. But if you buy them out of state and have them shipped in, that is legal. Which is crazy, because even like fathead minnows that are like invasive here, like you can get in trouble for taking invasive species out, which makes no sense to me. Like you're only helping the situation. Or not stickleback minnows are invasive here. Are those John's Oscars? Yes, they are, and this is my favorite one right here. Boom, headbutt. I guess he's behind me. That is a good looking fish right there. Now this one, that is an ugly looking fish. The white one. That is disgusting. I miss PUBG. That was the beginning, first year or so. Yeah, I've been thinking about. I mean, so the gaming channel's gone. It's just deleted. It's gone forever. But I still have the Swiss Kebab channel that Jimmy and I live streamed like twice on. And I've been thinking about streaming on that one, but I probably won't. Especially now that I got to stop slacking and start making videos again. Summer is over. Time to get back to work. June and July are kind of the slow YouTube months. And so those are kind of the months where I kind of take a little time to do other things, and it helps taking a little break like that to just help with burnout. Try again, new map and a lot of good patches. I don't know. I remember I thought I remembered hearing Corey say that in a stream, but wanted to double check, so it took me a minute. There's almost no info on moderate amounts of spirulina powder. Oh man, now I really want to see what the question is. What's my favorite Corey Dora? CW111, which is unobtainable. It might as well be named Corey Dora's Unobtainium. My favorite Corey Dora that you can actually buy is a stir-by Corey Dora. I don't see it. A Swiss Kebab stream would be cool. I agree. I definitely agree. I'm officially Swiss Kebab's 146 sub. I'm surprised it's over 100. Summer's not over. I still have another month until I have to start back at work again. Summer is over for YouTube. YouTube starts picking back up in August, generally. The tank behind you looks good. I agree. I wish I could remember who sent me this tank. Played World of Tanks forever until it became impossible to survive. All right, where is it? This question. I really want to find this question. I just don't see it. Well, it got answered regardless, but I was still curious. Oh well. Buried in chat. Nothing beats a butcher shop hot dog. I agree. The all beef dogs at my butcher shop are so good. So very good. I've never done that before. Stir-bys mating again. Love those things. Yep. They are probably going to be the first Corys that I plan to breed in the new fish room. One, because I already have like 20 of them, so I don't have to go out and spend any money. You can breed hundreds of them pretty easily, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. So we'll see. It's probably going to be another one of those panda Cory situations where just no matter what, they won't breed for me. Or now, I've honestly had them for so long, they might be too old. It might be just a bit too old to be breeding now, but we'll see. They've all gone into menopause and can no longer breed. Stir-by's mating, yep. Move to the Midwest. You'll see when summer is over. I think I'll stay in the Pacific Northwest. You know, I'm gonna die of a super volcano or an earthquake, but at least I'll be surrounded by beautiful Mother Nature while I die. Bob, how many more members until a new sticker? I have like 6 emojis open. I'm terrible at that stuff. Like, I don't know what to do for emojis. No one ever uses them anyways, probably because I don't have any good ones. I think I might have managed to find a slow-growing species of duckweed. I don't think that exists. Maybe. So you're gonna ship all the fish you breed to Dan for sale? No, I will sell fish that I breed. Those will still show up on my website. That's the only stuff I'm gonna plan. That's the only stuff I'll be selling. Now, if it turns out I have like 300 Corridoras and I just can't sell them, then I would ship them somewhere. But Mile High Plecos, man, I was just thinking about you the other day, and then you came in Bob Kaler's stream, and I was like, it was meant to be. I hope you're doing well, man. I feel like I haven't seen you in like a year at least. You'll have a better chance of dying of a volcano than the fake Rona. Great. Now that's going to get me demonetized. Thank you. I forgot about the no drama llama. Yeah. I still haven't fixed it. I still need to see. I'm so terrible at emojis. Like, one, I don't like emojis, so like I was like starting to put them in like my titles just to troll myself because I don't like emojis. How do you feel about deep substrate, non-filtered tanks? Any recommendations for a first-time try? I don't think you need a deep substrate to necessarily have a non-filtered tank. I think you need some type of flow, regardless if that's like an air stone, a power head. And if you're going to do an air stone or a power head, like if you're going to do an air stone, why wouldn't you just do a sponge filter? If you're going to do a power head, just do a hang-on back filter. Like, I don't know. To me, there's not really a reason to have like a non-filtered tank when I agree that in a lot of times you don't need filters, but like for me, for planet tanks, you need water circulation. So I could spend, $10 on a power head, or I could spend like $10 on a hang-on back filter that one is going to give me flow and is also going to remove, mechanical filtration, like decaying plant matter, things like that. So I don't know. I don't really get the whole... I get non-filter tanks. I mean, filters can be ugly. Nobody wants to look at them. But, yeah. Let's see. Hello, Bob from Houston. Hello, hello. Sorry for spamming. It just sucks. Are you spamming? I see. Yo. I don't see you spamming. Are you spamming? I saw 3 baby Oscars in a tiny tank at the store and then a huge goldfish to tell the message that goldfish grow big, which was sad. That's a very interesting suspected spam. I made the worst mistake of my life. Not really, but I did something really stupid. And yeah. Anyways, that's a weird way to send that message. It honestly makes zero sense to me. 3 baby Oscars in a tiny tank, and at the store they had a huge goldfish to tell the message. Oh, maybe I read that wrong. So they have 3 baby Oscars in a tiny tank. That's fine, right? I mean, you got to think like at a fish store, they're just temporary tanks. So having 3 baby fish in a tiny tank, they're probably spending less than a month in that tank anyways before they get sold. Now having a full-size goldfish, that's kind of cool, but if it's in a small tank, then that's counterproductive as well. So you're saying like, I'm going to set up this tank to show you what not to do, and these fish are going to suffer while I'm showing you what not to do. That doesn't make any sense to me. Planted tanks need mechanical filtration. My filters are filled with plant matter. Well, then stop killing your plants. If you didn't kill your plants, you wouldn't need mechanical filtration. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. So I'm going to tell you, Christine Richardson has been a member for 4 months in a row. Thank you. I went through this pre-approval process to get a home loan, and through, I don't remember who it was through, but now they call me like 12 times a day. Are you ready to buy a house? Are you ready to buy a house? And I'm just like, stop calling me. I have their numbers blocked, but even on a blocked number, like it still shows you that they're calling you. And it's like, what's the point of blocking the number if you're still just going to blow up my phone anyways? It's so annoying. I'm getting so close to just walking into their office. So close. And there was more than 1 goldfish there. There was like 10. My rainbows have white patches in front of their dorsal fin and 1 on the tail base. What do you think I should do to treat them? If it looks like fungus, I would probably use the Med Trio from Aquarium Co-op just to stamp it all out. However, If it looks like rainbows are very prone to injuring themselves, so they like to run into things. If it looks like just an injury, a lot of times it's usually on their mouth. Like they'll get that white spot on their mouth, and people think it's a fungus when in reality they just like ran into a branch, or they're not the smartest fish out there. So it depends. Honestly, for me, I'm pretty anti-meds, and I'm pro clean water. When it looks like something's wrong with my fish, then I make sure I'm keeping up on my water changes. I'm making sure that the nitrates don't get very high. And if a couple weeks, if it hasn't cleared up, then I'll go the med route. And I'll always use the med trio just to stamp out any possibilities. Because you never really know 100%. Like ick is one of the things like, okay, that's definitely ick. But a lot of the other stuff, it could be a myriad of things. So I just throw in all the meds, and it usually solves it. Do it. I hate spam. I keep getting ones asking if I want to sell my house. I mean, honestly, I've had this number for quite a while, and it's probably time to get a new number anyways. I always like to get a new number every once in a while, just for I don't know, just because. I hate people having my phone number, because then they call me, and I hate talking on the phone. I hate it. I will not talk to anyone on the phone. I don't care who you are. Well, maybe I would talk to, like, I don't know. When Michael Jordan calls me, I do pick up because it's Michael Jordan, but a lot of other people, I'm just like, what? I'm like, Shaquille O'Neal, stop calling me, buddy. All right, I already got the shoes he sent me. Just stop calling me. All right, buddy. If you want to be part of movie night, it's not too late to become. Oh, thank you, Zen. Thank you. So close to walking into their office and throwing bags of duckweed at them. Salespeople are terrible. I get it. It's their job. But, like, I've asked them like 100 times. I'm like, I'm not going to buy a house from you guys. Take me off of your calling list. Like, I'm not going to use you as a lender. You guys are terrible. Take me. And I've said it politely multiple times. And now it's time to not be polite. With the med trio, you treat with all 3 meds at the same time, or you do one at a time? I do all 3. All 3 at the same time. I spooked my rainbows last night by accident. One of my kamakas had a fat lip. It's so common. Like, oh, man. Dude, I hate spam. To join as members, want to be part, please hit the like button. Yep, please hit the like button. I mean, MJ is a Dream Team member. That is true. That is true. I will answer phone calls if you're on the Dream Team. Normally, they go to my flip phone, though. Like the flip phone, that's for Dream Teamers. Not my personal phone. Like the flip phone, that's my work phone. Matter of fact, and then there's like different tiers, right? Like sometimes you get the pager number. And, oh, here it is right here. See? Let's see. Yeah. See, 7 missed calls. I don't even answer that one. Let's be real. Who am I kidding? I hang up with Shaq calls. I know. All he wants to do is talk about his stupid koi pond. I'm like, dude, I get it. You got a koi pond. I know I'm your fish buddy, but I'm not a koi person. Like, let's throw some rainbow fish in there. Dude, let's get some real fish in there. Come on, buddy. Come on. Have you bought your car's extended warranty yet? I can sign you up if you have it now. If you suspect an active infection tapeworm, should you treat solely for that or do all 3 meds at once? I would still do all 3 meds. But to be fair, I kind of get all the meds for free. So I'm not very liberal when it comes to using meds if I think they need it. Meds can be very expensive. So if I didn't get them for free, I would probably, if I knew it was like internal parasites, I would probably treat specifically just for that. But the med trio, it works really well. Like, I mean, we're talking like 10 years of this med trio with very good results. So let's see. Is the med trio plant and beneficial bacteria safe? Yeah, I've never had it cause me to lose my cycle ever. It will kill some of your beneficial bacteria, but I've never had to recycle my tank after doing it, ever. In my country, shout out to New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand. Someone's stealing a pearl arowana for $120. What? Someone's selling A peel, maybe. I'm assuming Pearl Air One, $120. Dragon Lair, no, he's just being silly. But whoa, now that's how rumors get started. Ooh, what'd I miss? What'd I miss? I feel like I'm missing a lot today. What? What is going on in the chat? Corridors, Pantanal, blah, 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 are insane. Let me Google this one. I don't know this one off bat. Mr. Wall. I'm going to have to Google this one. I feel like some of you are getting kind of out of control. You're getting, it's getting feisty in here. Why is it censored? What am I Googling here? Ooh, the orange and green. I feel like there's a little, color manipulation going on there. Unlike my thumbnail, which is no Photoshop involved in my thumbnail. Prazzer Pro has worked great for me on new fish for internal parasites. Yeah, that's something I would definitely do for any puffers. Like you get new puffers, I would treat for internal parasites regularly. Are you asking me how many betas I have? I don't have any betas currently. I gave all of... Oh, see? What? Shut up. Gosh, now both my phones are doing it. I gave all my betta fish to Danny Does Life. Probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And now a sum up of this channel. Food. We are in the food hour. When you do the med trio, how much water change do you do every day? Zero. It's very specific on the instructions. When you're doing meds, I can't stress it enough. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not giving veterinarian advice. But it's very important that you stick to the instructions. A lot of people will do like a half dose. It's not going to work. If you're doing a half dose, that's just pointless. But a lot of people do it. They're like, well, I don't want to do too much in here. Are you done, buddy? Nope. But if you follow the instructions, it says to dose 48 hours and then do a water change. I would not dose and then do a water change the next day and then you take out like half of the meds. So yeah, just do exactly what it says on the package. Oh my God, I'm leaving. We just got back from the Boundary Waters. Thanks for making the drive better. Now I can type, oh, from the Boundary Waters. I don't know what that is. Wait, you had bettas? Dude, I had like 30 bettas at one point. There was a time when I went crazy in betta fish. You'd have to go back to like 2017 and like my channel was just littered with betta videos. I think one of my most popular videos was a betta video, and it was a terrible betta video. But bettas will carry a YouTube channel. Like if you're a fish tuber and you want to get views and subs, do betta fish. And right, like they're one of the most popular fish, so it makes sense. Amazon just showed up. I don't think I've bought anything on Amazon, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's that time of day where just everyone walks around the neighborhood. It's so annoying. It's like, people, stay in your house. Don't get exercise. That's stupid. I love Boundary Waters. I don't know what that is. That's Minnesota. Oh, well, that explains why I have no idea what it is. Matt, I've never wanted to use curse words more in a family-friendly stream. A lot of curse words are blocked, so even if you wanted to, you couldn't. My blocked words list is like 800 words long. It's very fast, fastly growing to almost 1,000. I add to it almost every week. Case 2, were the campfire restrictions still in place? Oh my gosh. Okay, now I gotta just turn this back off because that's turning that back off. Do you know how to get another tank? I mean, by my parents' permission. You just have to butter them up. Like, it's pretty typical, but like when I was a kid, like I'd make sure my chores were done. I wouldn't do good in school because I didn't care about school, but I would at least like try to make it look like an effort. And then like after a week, they'd be like, okay, dude, what's the deal? What do you want? And I'm like, I want this lizard. I got my own money for it. For me, it was lizards back when I was a kid. I really had to suck up. And eventually I had a whole wall on a cinder block stand of tanks with lizards. It was crazy. Minnesota. I still want to test your word block now. Dang it. Can I... What? Yeah, go sit on your couch, losers. Can I say effin'? Yeah. Yep. Correction, Zen doesn't have a pet snake. She has a flying purple people eater. If you had an extra 10-gallon tank, what kind of live food would you want to keep? Well, not you, but someone that wants to grow live foods. I grow scuds. I have a 10-gallon tank that has tons and tons and tons of scuds in it. There's scuds. There are, I think, neon or green endlers and chocolate neo caridina, chocolate neo shrimp, scuds, cherry shrimp, and endlers, all living happily in a 10-gallon tank. What's up, Bob's Mods members and chatty Cathies? Chatty Cathies? If you need to convince your parents to let you get a fish, then show them Jimmy's pictures. Kind of my philosophy is you go to your parents and say, look, here's the dealio. I want a 10-gallon fish tank. That's it. This is my hobby. I could either be spending my money on fish, or I could go and spend my money on drugs. Like, what do you prefer? Fish or drugs? You just got to give them an option, right? I don't know. That would be my advice. The Boundary Waters are an amazing place to canoe in northern Minnesota. Beautiful wilderness and thousands of lakes. You would love it. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Can fish find water bears to eat them, or are they too small? Water bears? What? What are scuds? Scuds are like very, very... I don't know if you know what copepods are, but they're kind of like copepods. They're just a really, really small shrimp, basically. I don't know. That's how I would explain them. Do you think a 75-gallon sump is enough for a 575-gallon tank? Traditional knowledge says no, I think, but I hear a popular trend nowadays that we over-filter anyways. So I think a 75-gallon sump would be just fine, but the thing you'd want to think about is where your overflow is on your 575-gallon tank, and if you lose power... So let's say you have 575 gallons, right? You have a 75-gallon tank as a sump, which is constantly full, like half full all the time. So there's like 35 to 40 gallons of water in there all the time. That means you've only got like an extra 30 gallons to spare. If you lose power, are you going to overflow your sump? Like, is everything from this 575 going to drain down out of your overflow into your sump? Obviously, power is out. And so I feel like you would overflow your sump in a power outage. This is the only reason I use like big, massive sumps. Like my 240-gallon tank had a 125-gallon sump, because if the power went out, my sump wouldn't overflow. That's filter-wise plenty big enough, in my opinion. But water volume-wise, I don't think that's big enough. Fish or drugs? You mean I have to choose? I could be spending my money on worse things, is my usual comeback, right? I feel like you gotta... hello. I feel like you just have to present it... Like, if we're being serious now, how you present it to your parents, you present it from, like, a scientific point of view, a biology point of view. Say you're learning about the life cycle, the nitrogen cycle. It's a learning experience, right? Just say it's for biology class or something. Hey Bob, late, but I'm here. Darren, what's up, buddy? Fish are more expensive, and I don't know how old you are, but yeah, fish can definitely be more expensive. It's an expensive hobby. If you had 12 10-gallon tanks, would you keep a medium tank with the med trio in it and just cycle fish in and out of it as needed, or add new meds with every new batch of fish? I would keep a quarantine tank if that's what you're asking. And new fish, the way I would do it, new fish would go in the quarantine tank, and then after 2 weeks or however long you want to quarantine, then I would move them to their forever home. If their forever home is already empty, then I would just put them in there and med that tank, if that makes sense. Tell them you learn a lot about nature. Show them a book of planet tanks from Takashi Amano. Yeah, I think if you just present it as like a learning opportunity, I think that's probably your best bet. Or just be like, look, fish or drugs. What do you want, parents? You decide. Tell them you learned. Yep. Is it okay to feed fish late at night? Yes, absolutely. Like when I come home late and I didn't get to feed them that day, my LFS said it could make them bloated. That's probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. I don't know how a lot of people feed fish at night, myself included, like any bottom dwellers. So if I have a community tank with like rainbows who are like super food, I'm not gonna say aggressive, but they're just hyperactive when it's feeding time, and not a lot of food makes it to the bottom. So if I have corridoras and plecos, if I feed at night, the food actually falls to the bottom and gets to the bottom feeders. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I've never heard of feeding at night causing bloat, and I don't know why it would. Have I thought about doing an aquarium club Zoom? Well, I used Zoom for the first time last month, and I gotta say it is one of the worst programs I have ever been a part of, and I would never use it again if I don't have to. I had to do my motorcycle endorsement training over Zoom, and it was by far, I couldn't believe how awful that program was. It was terrible. Or you just bring home the 10-gallon tank. When they ask how you got it there, you say, through the door. Where'd that tank come from? Well, I walked in through the door with it. My family, who were initially cold towards fish and aquariums, are the first ones rushing to see the aquarium in my apartment. It's funny how that works, right? It's like, it's always family, right? Like the most negative people in your life, I swear, are always family members. And then when you do something, when you tell them an idea, they're like, that's a terrible idea. Why are you doing that? And then your idea works out, and they're the first ones to be like, oh, that's so cool. Or, don't tell me. Let me start it on family. Let me tell you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a great family. I love my family. A lot of them don't understand what I do. They're like, when are you going to get a job? That's what I hear the most. And when I tell them, when they ask if I want to do something, I'm like, no, I got to work. Like, whether it's film or edit a video, it's like, I got to work. And every time I say I got to work, they're like, oh, you got a job? Oh, you finally got a job? I'm like, people, it's the age of the internet. You don't have to go anywhere to work. Like, you can do anything online and make money. My African cichlids don't care what time it is. Yeah. Zoom is better than working in a cubicle. I will say just about anything is better than working in a cubicle. Yeah. Mom, if you don't let me have this fish tank, I might develop a stutter. Please don't do this to me. That's the Adam Sandler movie, right? I forget what it is. Just watch my Adelphoi attach an egg to a moneywort. So cool. Man, you're going to end up with a ton of fry, hopefully. Or I knew you could do it. Yeah. Hey, Bob, do you have a preference between fish room or fish tanks around the home? Definitely a fish room, because I much prefer to heat a fish room, like just heat the entire room, than having tanks scattered all over the house and having to put heaters in each tank. Also, having all your fish tanks in a centralized location makes maintenance way easier. So absolutely a fish room. It's unfortunate because people's first experience with a fish tank is when they are tricked into one because it's prize they won at a carnival was a goldfish and it dies right away. I'm sure that happens. I don't think that's as prevalent as it used to be, though. At least in my area. Like, there's not a lot of places left in my area giving away fish at carnivals and stuff. Big Daddy. Yep. Big Daddy. I wanted to say like bad Daddy, and then I was like, no, that definitely doesn't sound right. Not a movie I would watch. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Yep. That is true. Bob makes amateur videos for private member only viewing. Sounds wholesome. Yep. See, now that's spamming. Iowa to Wisconsin to Indiana for me. We have a very nice... Oh, I lost that one. I just realized it only took 2 months of working from home, and I got an aquarium and fish again. Nice. Evan with the $5 super chat says, thanks, Bob. So if I plumb the 75-gallon sumps to drain to prevent floods, do you think it'd work for $5.75? Yeah. Yep. One thing I wouldn't do, Evan, is add a second sump. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong with two separate sumps. I would, if I needed more sump, I would sell the 75 and buy like a 120. A 120 would be actually a really good size for a 575, but I think you'd be just fine in a 75 gallon. Now, obviously, you know, there's other variables. Like, are you gonna just have like 5,000 fish in there, or are you having like one big fish? So obviously, you know, keep in mind your bio load. But once your tank is established, think everything in that tank is going to be covered in beneficial bacteria, not just the sump. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of over-filtering going on in the aquarium world. Realize I don't know why you don't like cardinal and neon tetras or prefer another. It's because they aren't as active. Kind of want them. Saw a huge cardinal that was deep red and blue. So I do love neon tetras. I'm not much of a fan of cardinal tetras. I think they're a bit too finicky. They're not as hardy, in my opinion, as a neon tetra. And usually you can buy a neon tetra for like $1, and a cardinal tetra is like $5. And I don't know. It's not worth the extra $5 to have a full red line versus a half red line on a neon tetra. I don't know. Happened recently with my sisters, and now she told me my nieces and nephews, they can never have fish ever again. So that's my experience with it. Operation Get Sister to Reconsider Fish Tanks. See you later, Carlo. I bought a fish tank in the most depressing time of my life. Happy and healthy today, and can't imagine my life without them. There's so many stories like that. I've gotten a couple of emails of people that say that, and it's always great to hear that. Like, they're for something that's so frustrating and also very calming in a fish tank. I like those Corians in the tank that displayed right now. Yes, these are Adolphoi. Yep, Adolphoi. Paul says I need a fish room. I agree. Bad Daddy sounds like a movie that I was thinking like Bad Grandpa, but Big Daddy, which also sounds just about as bad as Bad Daddy. So we can just move on. But Cardinal Tetras could be from Project Pieba from Saving the Amazon. I mean, that's certainly true. They could be. I have to get to class. Well, you better get to class. 2 medium sponge filters will work just as good as a 120-gallon sump. That I would probably disagree with you on. When it comes to beneficial bacteria, I'm probably right on board, but when it comes to mechanical, sumps are just so good at getting rid of mechanical filtration, and they're just insanely easy to maintain. I mean, hey, I'm taking out this filter floss. I'm putting more filter floss in. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That took about 2 minutes to, what's the word I'm looking for? To maintain my sump. Super easy. I am a huge fan of sumps and sponge filters, and I think they both have a place, even in the same tank. I want to watch the kangaroo show. Oh yeah, the kangaroo. I thought it was Was it like Scuba Steve or something? Was it a kangaroo? I don't know. I currently have a fish corner, and it's already been way too expensive. I haven't even got the fish yet. Wait. So you have like a whole corner of fish tanks, and you don't have any fish? Wait, I thought you had like puffers or something. Now I'm really confused. Yes, please hit the like button. Where are we at? We were at like 150 last time I checked. Where are we at now? It's the only thing I ask. 188. We just need 12 more likes, people. Click that button. Like or dislike. I don't care. One or the other. Dwarf frogs are the cheaper version of axolotl. They are both derpy and can't see well. Not much of a fan of either, to be honest. Captain Kangaroo. Piaba. Well, guess what? It's Piaba. In the Pacific Northwest, it's pronounced Piaba. I don't know where you're at down there in the southeast, but it will always on my channel with my English. It's Piaba, not Piaba. Piaba. Does anyone know if high fins are a dominant trait? Do I know? I don't believe so, but I could be wrong. No, I have fish, just not in the tanks I'm setting up in the fish corner. Are you gonna get like a sign that says like fish corner? I feel like startup cost is much more expensive than the actual fish and food. Oh, for sure. Definitely. Start with one tank and grow from there. Fish tanks, and you don't have one fish or shrimp. I'm going to sign into my other two accounts and like. Now you only need 10. Well, we might already be there. I'm hoping. Yep, we are 201. Thank you very much. 201 likes and dislikes. I think my thing adds both because they're counted the same. Okay. All right, we got 10 minutes left. What do we want to talk about for 10 minutes? How do you pronounce GIF, Bob? GIF or GIF? GIF. GIF or GIF? Well, that's pronounced GIF because it's G. Like the people that say GIF need to remember that it's not spelled with a J. It's spelled with a G. Thanks for the likes, guys. I agree. I only buy cardinal tetras because every time I buy neon tetras, they die very quickly. I'm sure it's just my bad luck. There's definitely... that's not uncommon at all. There's a lot of neon tetras out there that are just not very hardy, for sure. I happen to have a good source for neon tetras. I'm just lucky. But like, I probably wouldn't buy neon tetras from like a Petco or PetSmart. Not saying that you couldn't get good ones there, but just knowing I know where they get their fish from. And I would never buy fish from those wholesalers just because. Have I ever raised Vietnamese white clouds? What is the new one? Like the white fin Vietnamese white cloud, I think is the new one. The newest variant that I've seen. G makes two sounds like giraffe is an example of the J. It's giraffe. It's giraffe. Giraffe. I've got 5 tanks in my garage at the moment. So my first row, I definitely see growing in a fish room. There you go. See, you just got to start somewhere. BMW or Mercedes mid-90s car. Well, I really like the 95 BMW M3. I really like the Mercedes, like a 2001 Mercedes 430. I forget what the numbers are that are before it, but like the V8 two-door coupe, I really like that car. But if I had to buy a mid-90s car, I've already got my mid-90s car. I've got my 95 F-150, which is one of my favorite mid-90s cars. My favorite early 90s car would be like a 89, well, 87 to 93, I guess, Mustang. I've had luck with black neon tetras. Yeah, black neon tetras are definitely way hardier. I would say way hardier than neon and cardinal tetras. But they're a bit more stout too, so they get a little bit bigger. But the G in GIF stands for graphical, right? So it makes the same GIF sound. So GIF is correct. Yeah, you're right. GIF is correct. What's the problem here? That's what I said. I'm weak for 70s Mustangs, like the 71 Boss. 70, even like the 73, which is like that weird kind of longer one. What was your first car, Bob? I don't know. Are you trying to... Are you doing some social engineering here? Are you trying to answer my secret questions for my password resets? My first car was an 88 Ford Mustang. It is the rarest car in the USA. An 88 Ford Escort GT. I challenge anyone to find that car. You cannot find it. I think there's one for sale on eBay. One. Good night, Bob. Got to clean the convict tank. Thank you, Darren, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Fox Body 5.0 Mustang. Yep. That's it. The 91 GT. I like the 93, but I think the 89, 90, and 91 had the spoiler with like the fins in the middle, and that's it for me. Those cars are like 20 grand now. 5 years ago, you could buy one for like 3,000 in good condition, and now they're like 15. It's insane. The price has just skyrocketed on Fox Bodies. I think you can hit black neons with a hammer, throw them back in the water, and they will still magically spring back to life. Let's settle our differences and realize that it is pronounced if. How about we just go with the G is silent. It's pronounced if. I got a guppy tank with shrimp and coolies, and they went off the deep end with multiple tank syndrome. Shouldn't get into fish during the Petco tank sale. That's very dangerous. But I mean, talk about some fish that'll cause that. Not so much the guppies, but shrimp and coolies, so awesome. They're so fun to watch. Like those are definitely fish that are going to cause multiple tank syndrome. Remember the triple white Mustang? For me, it would have to be like black on black or white on white. Maybe white on black, but 69 GT 500 fastback Eleanor. I feel like that's a lot of people's favorite just because of the movie. I mean, yeah, that's a really nice car, but I mean, I would take any fastback. Even like a 78 Ford Mustang 2 fastback. Those things are so hideous that I want one so bad. Just like the car is so disgustingly gross that it's actually kind of cool. Bob's first car was a Flintstones wagon. Well, I mean, pretty close. It was a Ford Escort, so there was definitely a lot of foot power that went into pushing that car. So I would say that's kind of accurate. Very close. The G is also silent in Haraf. It's Iraf. The G is just always silent. If there's one thing I learned about English and grammar is that G is always silent. The Zen Inger, for instance, G is always silent. Old V-dub dune buggy would be good for your car channel. I wish. Man, that's another car that has just skyrocketed in price is the old Volkswagen Bug. Man. I would also like an 84 Buick. That would be pretty cool. Is it just something unique because you don't ever see those? Old fastbacks. What are we talking about? Cars now? Hey, that's where you guys took it. A lot of people like to give me crap for not talking about fish, but all I'm doing is reading comments of you all, the viewers. So if you're rewatching this and you're mad we're not talking about fish, come on the live stream and make a fish comment. That's all you got to do. I just read chat. That's it. I'm just the MC of this. Well, I guess if I was the MC, then I would be in charge of the topic. Never mind. I was not a fan of the round nose. Oh, Super beetles are killer souped up. I mean, the love bug, right? Herbie the love bug. I mean, cars are pretty important to the fish hobby. You do have to use cars to get to and from fish stores, to transport fish tanks. Yeah, sure, you could do it on a bus, but, you know, having a vehicle makes the fish hobby just way more, manageable. It's just way easier. A Buick LeSabre. I want a 1995 Buick Park Avenue Ultra. That's the car I want to travel around and just go to like fish room. Like, I'm not even joking about having a car for fish rooms. That is like the car. I look like once a week for a Buick Park Avenue Ultra, 3.8 liter supercharged, and the thing just, they run forever. They never break down. And it's one of those cars that just like, you're like driving on a cloud. It just floats down the highway. That is my car for driving around the country and doing fish room tours. Had a Corolla for 23 years and I got totaled by my neighbor's camper. They sideswiped my poor baby. Aw. No, Bob, you can ride your donkey. Actually, you cannot ride a donkey. You can pack your donkey full of fish tanks and fish supplies, but I would not recommend riding your donkey. Marble, blue, pearl, scale, angelfish, discuss. Well, that's my thumbnail, right? Unedited? No, not unedited, just not photoshopped. How about that? I wonder if anyone has made a pond out of an old car. Yes, I have seen it. I think there is a video on YouTube of it, actually. I don't remember what car it was. Not necessarily a pond, but they definitely turned it into a fish tank. I heard city buses in Washington have rack mounting in the front to carry aquariums home. I wish. I lost the captioning when I switched from the computer to the phone. Interesting. So it's maybe not compatible with the phones yet? I don't know. First car, 1970 Mercury Montego with a 442 cube and an Edelbrock 5-speed. First wife blew the transmission completely out the bottom. That sounds like my Volkswagen. I had a Volkswagen that just a lot of stuff just exploded right out of the car. The alternator just fell off one day. I pulled into work, I parked, and I walked in, and a coworker was like, "What's laying under your car?" And I looked, and I was like, "That's my alternator just laying on the ground." Transmission just blew out the bottom. Supercharger blew through the hood on the freeway. I was doing like a $120 on the freeway, and the supercharger exploded right through the hood. That was pretty fun. My first boyfriend had a 1965 Lincoln Continental. It rode like an old grandma's sofa. I mean, that's like a dream car with the suicide doors. Man, those are like 80 grand. It's ridiculous. It's my donkey. I'll ride if I want to. That's kind of a weird statement to make online. Take it how you will, but I think it's time to probably end the live stream. My first car was a 91 Plymouth Colt. It had bad valve seals. We called it the Smoking Colt. That's kind of a cool nickname, though. The Smoking Colt. Of course, I think of like a gun, but LeBaron is too close to LeBron. Hard pass for me. Well, they're both just as broken, right? I can't get an El Camino or Ranchero team. It's like a truck or a car. Yeah, I'm not. Although, like the Subaru Brat, like I would drive that car. But again, it's one of those cars that are like so ugly and ridiculous that it's kind of cool. The Subaru Brat. Again, it doesn't know if it's a car or a truck or a station wagon that someone chopped the back off of. I don't know. Nobody knows what the Subaru Brat is. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I think it's about that time to officially end the live stream here. So don't forget, next week we're probably going to start at 4, moving from 4 to 6. Of course, I'll probably forget and start live streaming at 8, buddy. I know. We're just about ready to go outside, buddy. I promise. Just about ready. Get out of my swamp, donkey. Yeah, so 4 to 6, hopefully going forward, if I remember. If not, 5 to 7. But also, members movie night, 7:30 is usually when LR Brett starts streaming. So that's when we will start the Monday night stream. What else? Obviously, I want to thank all the new members. Super awesome. Super chatters, mods, commenters, lurkers, everyone. You're all just as important. And I really appreciate everyone coming and hanging out on a Monday night. I always say TGIM. Thank God it's Monday, because I love live streaming and hanging out and just BSing about fish and apparently food and cars every week as well. It's now becoming a thing. So I hope to see you all again next week. I hope you have a great week. And, I'll see some of you on Friday.